One of the most anticipated weekends in movie history with the release of Barbenheimer is officially out, and I'm really excited to finally talk about Oppenheimer because I just haven't got a chance to talk about it. It's just been so crazy right now, but let's get into why this is one of my favorite movies of 2023. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Real Brad, and today in the channel, I want to talk to you guys about the brand new biographical historical thriller film called Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer is written and directed by Christopher Nolan, and the film stars a massive ensemble cast with the likes of Cillian Murphy, Matt Damon, Robert Downey Jr., Emily Blunt, Jack Quaid. I mean, the list just goes on. Oppenheimer was in my top 5 most anticipated films of 2023 because of this amazing cast with Christopher Nolan directing the film. You know it's going to be an amazing, awesome blockbuster movie. All the amazing critical reception and the massive box office it's about to receive in the next month or so is definitely worth it. Oppenheimer might be Christopher Nolan's greatest film, and I'm going to stand on a hill for that. Christopher Nolan made this high intense psychological thriller film that was just so intense and left me on the edge of my seat the entire time watching it, when most of the film is very heavy dialogue scenes, but I was never bored for a single second. There is this true craftsmanship to this film where every little delicate aspect of this movie just feels perfect. So let's just dive into my positives first, and we definitely got to start with Christopher Nolan himself. Everybody knows Christopher Nolan. He is one of the most well-known directors of all time and definitely one of the best, and he proves it again. The whole direction of this film is so serious and full of drama and suspense, and taking this story that would normally be just like a really good biofilm and just made it more visceral. The performances in this film are captivating. Cillian Murphy is simply amazing, which is no shock. I mean, this guy is just amazing at everything he does. I think he definitely should get a Best Actor nomination, and he is my pick to win it as of now. He was phenomenal. He gives a god-tier performance in this film. Robert Downey Jr. is also fantastic, who plays Strauss, and I also think he should be nominated for Best Supporting Actor, as pretty much almost everybody else in this movie. I mean, they're all going to get campaigned by Universal because, you know, it's Oppenheimer. They're going to. The performances in this movie are just so realistic and captivating. And the fact that this movie has so many big name actors, you would think that this movie would be very distracting, and it never does, which just proves my point of how you can have a big ensemble and actually feel like the characters and not just the names and the likeness themselves. The cinematography in this film is absolutely gorgeous. It is my favorite of the year, especially when you have these two points of view where it comes from color and it goes from black and white. Christopher Nolan's movies always look amazing, but this might be his best looking film to date. With so many of the shots in this movie having such long takes and allowing these actors to breathe and just enjoying this beautiful, grand landscape, this movie just feels so massive. It feels like a blockbuster movie, especially with that infamous bomb scene that everyone's going to be talking about, and that Christopher Nolan said there was no CGI in this movie and they actually blew up a bomb, but not the bomb. I absolutely love the sound design in that scene particularly, as well as the sound design in the rest of the film as well. It should definitely be nominated. I also found the production design to be excellent, with every single set in this movie to feel so realistic. To have this movie be set back in time to the late 1920s into the 30s, the 40s, and there's this natural progression of these characters aging that you really wouldn't notice on the first time watching it, that I just found was so incredible, with the makeup and hairstyling that definitely should be nominated, especially at the end of the film. It reminded me very heavily of Citizen Kane. If you haven't seen that film, I won't spoil it, but in terms of the makeup and the old age, I thought was excellent. With a film being over 3 hours in today's age, it could be a turnoff for many people, but I think people are starting to realize that 3-hour movies aren't a bad thing if the movie's entertaining and great. Oppenheimer just proves that you can make a well-paced, very entertaining, and just gripping 3-hour movie that feels already like a classic, not because of the hype, not because of the amazing box office gross, not because of all the potential Academy Awards nominations going to get. The whole feel of this movie feels like a classic with the terms of the filmmaking, all shot on film, and with having the 70mm IMAX screenings, with it being only in select cities, and all these amazing things just feel like Christopher Nolan just went all out for this film, and I thought it was incredible. And let's not forget, one of the best aspects about this film is the screenplay. I absolutely adored this story and the way that this movie is told in the way that it is, in not chronological order, and you never feel like you're confused or it jumps around too much. It feels like so purposely crafted by Nolan. You don't feel like there's any studio interference when it comes to the screenplay and how the story is played out. And I love seeing both sides of these characters. And I don't want to dive too into it just in case you don't know about the movie, but I found it so fascinating. Nolan does a phenomenal job of allowing you as the audience to choose your own feelings for these characters and the story based on what you see visually and what happened. I had to think about it for a while of what I thought about these two particular characters, because that's exactly what Nolan wanted. At least that's what I thought he intended that he wanted, because it was just so incredible. Ludwig Göransson is one of the best composers right now, and he has worked with Christopher Nolan for a few movies already, and I absolutely love the score of Tenet, and this score is definitely going to get nominated. I mean, it was so incredible. I haven't stopped listening to it on Apple Music. I'm definitely going to buy the soundtrack on physical media because it was so electric and it fit this movie so perfectly. It was used in so many amazing scenes, and it is just... it's definitely one of the best scores of the year. Let me tell you that. As much as I have been praising the living hell out of this movie, I do have one major criticism, especially in the first act of the film, that does take a while to get going. And I did notice a lot of people in my auditorium were moving around, getting up. Now, I didn't think it was bad or boring as some of these people may have thought based on their behaviors and what they were doing in the auditorium, but I can see where it felt sort of boring and not as interesting because there is so much character buildup and less about the building of the bomb. And I thought it was still incredible and amazing, but comparative to the rest of the film, it doesn't feel as perfect. Overall, guys, Oppenheimer is one of my favorite films of the year so far, as I absolutely enjoyed it so much. I am definitely going to go see it again in the 70mm IMAX, which will be the first time I have seen a movie on film before, so I'm really excited about that. I also found that this movie had terrific performances, amazing technical aspects, and such an incredible story that this movie just needs to be rewatched over and over again. And I'm so glad this movie is doing so well as Barbie, because this movie deserves it and it will get a ton of Academy Awards nominations. I count on it. I am giving Oppenheimer the golden 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. As I want to know below in the comments section, have you seen Oppenheimer? And if you have, let me know, where would you rank it in your Christopher Nolan's movies ranked, and do you like it more than Barbie or just as good? I can't wait to hear all about it. Before you guys check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like as you always should, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following video.